Hello and welcome. This will be an introduction video to the WPS or Wireless Pyrotechnic Solutions firing system. As you can see, we have the Hobby module, the Pro module, 24 Qs and 144 Qs, and WPS mode. Okay, so both receivers can be powered either with external power supply or with internal power supply. So if you order one with a battery, we will install the battery, and all you need to do is just turn it on, and there you go. Or you can order without battery and use external power jack. You just plug it in, turn it on, and there we go. So for both of these we can adjust the brightness, and we can adjust after whole many seconds the screen will dim. So the same as for both receiver modules, you can adjust the brightness and change the power saver as well. First, what you want to do is synchronize your receiver with your remote. So what you do is go into synchronize mode, and then you want to select the channel for both of these. As you can see, this is on channel 10, this is on channel 1. So what we want to do is either go to channel 10 by pressing up or down, or we can just press 10 and it will do the same thing. Then we just press try, and as we can see, this receiver received ID A on channel 10, and we can check which ID we have, also battery voltage and or channel, just by pressing back and holding it. Okay, let's do the same thing for WPS Pro. Whilst we are still in the science mode, go here as well. You can hold down up and to fast scroll, and we do the same thing. As you can see, this module received ID B because each module needs to have unique ID. And now we can test. As we can see, we have on channel 10 two modules, and we can check them individually by pressing and holding next button, and we can refresh the results also by pressing next button. As you can see, the channel on channel 10 for IDA we have 12.3 volts, and you can see the same thing here. And for channel 10 module B we have 12.8 volts. Okay, so now we can go back and just test the Qs. So as you can see, we have banks. For WPS Hobby there are two banks, which you can check which bank letter is either it's full circle or empty circle. So these two will represent full circle and these two will be empty circle. And this can be set manually by going settings, firing, change banks, and then you can set, let's say, upper bank A is, so this will be, these 12 Qs will be represent bank A, and these 12 Qs will represent bank B. We can do also the local test by going into test mode, and full box represents continuity, empty box represents no continuity. So on bank A, or the full circle, we have continuity on the first and second, and no continuity on the rest of them. And for bank B, we have no continuity whatsoever. Okay, and this is real time, so if you disconnect the image, it shows it, so you don't have to refresh or anything. There we go. Okay, for the WPS Pro we have 12 banks, A to L, each represented by a capital letter, and we have also 6 queues connected to A as well, so these first 6 queues are in parallel with bank A, so you can test continuity only for one of them, as if one of them are connected and the other one isn't, you could see only the one connected. Rest of the queues are separate, individual queues. So this module has 144 individual queues, and it's connected by regular internet cable, but make sure that you remove the clip from the WPS Pro side, otherwise you won't be able to remove it from the unit. So this cable what we provide, and you can buy from our website, is very high quality, stranded, so it can be bent and it doesn't break inside, and it also low resistance, but you can use any other cable. But please note that buying cheap eBay cables won't give you won't be able to shoot any images longer than 20 meters. Okay, so for the local test, we can, just the same as for WPS Hobby, we go test mode, and then we can scroll through all of the banks by up or down. So because this is connected to this on Q3, so on Q3 on G, so we go to the G, and we can see the Q3 on the G is connected. And if we do the same on L, the same queue. Okay, so this is the local test, but you can test also all the queue continuity by going into test mode, then selecting the channel, and you can see that on bank A you have partial continuity on 1 and 3 because you have nothing connected on bank A for the WPS Pro module. So you can check which module, which ID is not connected by pressing and holding on the representative queue. And you can see that on module with ID A you have continuity, and on module with ID B you have no continuity. And you can do the same for any other queue, let's say 10. You can see that there is nothing connected for both of them. And you can see also that L shows continuity because it's the only module with such queue on this channel. Therefore it has continuity. You can see that A doesn't have such queue because, as we said, these two are set to bank A and these two are set to bank B. So if we go to settings and set, let's say, the left bank to L, and now if we refresh the test and go to L, you can see that we have partial continuity because now this bank and this bank is on the same channel, and we have partial continuity, and you can see that our IDB has got continuity, but our module A doesn't. Once you are testing queues, you can refresh the test by pressing next. And this, so if we remove the Q3 and press refresh, you can see that Q3 has no continuity anymore. And if we put back to Q2 and refresh, and we have continuity, partial continuity, because A has continuity and B has nothing connected to it. So if we want to fire them separately, we can go again in the synchronizing mode and just change the channel. Let's say channel 9, and you can see that it gets new ID. So now we can go into test, and we can see we have one module on channel 9 and one module on channel 10. And if we test, we can see that this on channel 9 we have hobby module, and on channel 10 we have pro module. And if they are in separate channels, you can see that since we changed the empty circle to the L bank, we can see that these are not connected, and these two representing A are connected. And similarly, if we go to channel 10 and go to the bank L, we can see that we have continuity in Q3 on bank L. And what can we can also do is press and hold up or down to change the channel quickly. So you can see it was channel 9, now it's to channel 10, and we can refresh. So this is it for the test. So you can do either local test or remote test. And you can also check the battery status either by holding back on any of the receivers or by holding next button on the representative channel. Okay, so to demonstrate the firing mode, I have here 12 volt taillight lights. So these are 36 watt lamps. So as you can see, we have this WPS slot connected to the bank B, and these are all these lights connected to bank L, and we can test that as well. So bank B full continuity and bank L full continuity. So for this module we have 2 queues on bank A and also single queue on bank L. Okay, in order to enter the fire mode, first what you need to do is make sure the key switch is in fire position, and then we can go into fire mode. And as you can see, it's the same channel overview view, but this time we are in fire mode. If we go into channel 9, we can see we have continuity on bank A and L, these two. And if we go to channel 10, we can see that we have continuity on B and L. What we can do now is select the channel and press a button. That's it. You press a button and corresponding queue lights up. Also, if you want, you can hold down the button and it will send a continuous pulse. So, but the single press should be sufficient for any of the regular images. Okay, so another feature is step fire. So what you do is press next and all the queues to the right goes up one by one. So that's simple. So another feature is the sequential firing. So in order to do that, we press and hold. And to stop that, we just press it again. So obviously you can exit the fire mode by either going back to the main menu or by turning the key switch into test position. We'll do the same thing. And you can't access the fire mode unless the key switch is in fire position. Another way of exiting fire mode is manually. So if you press on any button of the receiver, it will no longer receive any of the commands. So about the settings, so we can set the timer. So if we go, we have the timer. Once we fire the first cue, the timer will start. And the timer, you can see that so that we can fire the cues. And if we want to pause the timer, we just hold back and the timer is paused. And once we fire the next cue, the timer starts again. And we can adjust the default sequence time. So let's say this was 1 second, we can set it to whatever we want. We can use the shortcuts, 12 seconds, 1 second, 10 seconds, and up to the 0.1 second. So let's just see how that works. So go into fire mode, channel 10, we set the first cue to be fired and we hold back. And it goes through the all cues. Another useful feature is in the firing, skip empty. So this will just fire the full cues or partial cues. So it will skip all the empty cues. So let's see how that works. So we have 1, 2. And you can see that it skipped all the banks that are empty and all the channels that are empty and went straight to the full queues. Okay, so there is another feature for the WPS Pro. So what you can do is group the banks. So what we can do is group the banks. So let's say we want to fire B and L at the exact same time. So then we go and set B and L. So now if we go to the fire mode and if we fire bank B, also Q on bank L will fire at the same time. One of the most important features of this system is the ability to connect to the computer and control all the firing through the computer. So this is what the PC control is for. But I will talk about this in separate video. Okay, so what I have here is WPS slot connected to bank A, and we have igniters on 12, 11 and 10, and we can test that. We have A continuity on 10, 11 and 12, and I have another module here with the same bank A and continuity on 10, 11 and 12. So let's just set them both of these on the same channel. So channel 1, what we do here is go into synchronize, channel 1, synchronization is successful, and we do the same thing on this module. We synchronize, go to channel 1 and press again. So this module is B, this module is A, and we can test that by going test mode, holding down next button, and we can see that we have 12.7 and 12.2 volts on both of these. So okay, so let's just fire these. So these should go both at the same time. So if we press 10, there we go, 11 and 12. There we go. Okay, so on bank E we have 5 igniters in parallel, and all of them fired over 20 meters of cable. There we go. Okay, so this is just a short introduction video. Subscribe for more future video, more instructions and tutorials. Thank you for watching.